Welcome to another of my weekly gear recommendation videos. Today, I'm going to be looking at the Nitecore Tiny 2 rechargeable keychain flashlight. It's a great little piece of kit that I take with me everywhere and use constantly, both in the studio and out in the field. Before I get started, my usual disclaimer: this is not a sponsored video. I purchase and use all gear that I recommend in these videos. I have no affiliation with the company, nor am I a spokesperson for the product or any kind of expert. My thoughts and experience with and about the product are strictly my own and may be erroneous. If you are interested in the product, I strongly suggest doing additional research as needed. I have placed a link to the product on Amazon in the description below. This link is only for your convenience as I make no money from it. So with that out of the way, let's take a closer look at the Nitecore Tiny 2. This little flashlight has a lot of functionality, but for this video, I am only going to cover the basics of layout and operation. The first thing that I want to point out is the amount of wear on the finish of this unit. I assure you that when I purchased the product 6 months ago, it looked brand new. I have used the product extensively since then, but have not abused it. Is this amount of wear excessive? I don't know. I'll leave that one up to you to decide. I like the Tiny 2 due to its combination of size and functionality. The Tiny 2 is a whole lot of flashlight in a very small package. You can see here on the tape that the flashlight body is a little over 1.5 inches long, and the keychain adds another 1.5 inches when pulled straight, and the product width is just under 1 inch. For operation, the Tiny 2 uses 2 buttons and a display. By pressing these buttons in various sequences and combinations, you can place the product into different states and modes, but I will only cover the basics in this video. The bottom button is the power button. Press it once to turn the unit on. Press it again to turn the unit on. The top button is the mode button. Press it to activate the display if the display is off. Once the display is on, you press the mode button to cycle through each of the power modes. The Tiny 2 has 5 different power modes or power levels. So the first is the ultra low. Then we have level 2, which is low, level 3, which is mid, and level 4, which is high. As you can see, each power level is activated by pressing the mode key and cycling through the available levels. There is a 5th level available, but it is a special level called Turbo that is only accessible by long pressing the mode button, at which point you go into this higher power mode. Regardless of what power mode you were in, when you turn the flashlight off, by long pressing the power button, you go into ultra low mode. And if you turn it off and come back in again, now you're back to what was the level 4 mode. Additionally, the Tiny 2 has 2 high-level modes that determine the overall functionality of the unit. Demo mode, which is the mode the unit is now in, as you can see from the word demo, is a demonstration mode that will automatically power off the unit after 30 seconds. To change to the other mode, which is called the daily mode, you simply press both buttons at the same time. And now we are in daily mode. Daily mode, as indicated by the word daily in the display, requires that the power be shut off manually when you are through using the product. Additionally, the Tiny 2 has 2 different lockout modes, which limit or prevent functionality of the unit when desired. To enter a lockout mode, you simply start the unit and then press and hold on the power button until you see the lock icon on the display. Now, in this Lock 1 mode, the power button no longer functions. The turbo mode, however, is still accessible by long pressing on the mode button. To take the unit out of the lock mode, you simply press twice, a short press followed by a long press, and the unit will unlock. Short press, long press, unlocked. To enter the second lock mode, you simply hold the power button until you see the 2 lock show up. And the system is now in the second locked mode. In this lock mode, none of the buttons work. So this would be an ideal mode for transporting the unit without worrying about it coming on. Again, to unlock the mode, once, twice, and now it unlocks. So that is the functional basics of operation for the unit. Note though that even though this is referred to as a keychain unit, this keychain here is not what I would consider the most reliable keychain I have ever seen. I have never actually even used this flashlight as a keychain, and I rarely even attach it to a keychain, although you certainly could. However, I have attached it to almost everything else that will fit within the circumference of this particular keychain. Cameras, zipper pulls, belt loops. You can attach this to almost anything and take it with you wherever you go, giving you a highly functional flashlight in almost any location. And as an example, on my A7C here, we have the strap loop, and it's a simple matter of attaching the camera to the flashlight with the strap. And now wherever I go, I now have this flashlight with me. The limitation to this, of course, is that this keychain section here is fairly small and will not attach to anything too big. But to get around that, I simply use a carabiner and I attach the keychain part to the carabiner, and this one locks so I can lock it down. And now I can basically take this light with me pretty much wherever the carabiner can lock onto. So the 5 levels of illumination allow you to control how much charge you are burning. and the highest levels are bright enough to use for filming if you have no other light source available. And what we're actually going to show now is we're going to switch off the lights here in the studio and just run the Tiny 2 as the only lighting source. And we'll see how it does. Now the Tiny 2 is a rechargeable flashlight, which is very nice because it means you never have to worry about replacing the batteries. It has a USB-C port on the side here, and it is covered by a little plastic cover, which can be removed, exposing the USB-C port. And then you can simply take your charging bank of choice when in the field, plug in your cable, and now you can see that you're in charging mode when the blue lights are flashing on the unit. And here you can see the battery level, as well as the voltage. My only concern with this unit on the charging area is just that this cover is attached by a very, very thin piece of rubber that I could easily see breaking if you're not extremely careful with it. So far, so good, but that is a concern. Thank you so much for watching.